All right, welcome 2026 Bentonville Bike Fest. I'm Matt Pengelly and I'm with my fantastic legendary host, Jeff Lanowski. How are we doing, Jeff?
Great to be here.
All right, kicking us off today too. We're just about to start the women's elite finals, but it's been a pretty good weekend so far, hasn't it?
Yeah, we got a chance to check out the qualifying yesterday, saw the ladies compete. The three of them passed on to today's finals. They're going to be stepping up the difficulty of these courses for the finals today. It's going to be pretty exciting to see what they put them through.
Yeah, and as we saying, the level for the women's has progressed probably more than the men's, despite the men's also progressing at an exponential rate. You're one to understand that, right, Jeff?
Yeah, we were reminiscing a little bit earlier about the early days of trials. So I got started in 1993, won a national championship back then. My last pro one was in the U.S. in 2000, and even 10 years later, the level of courses were nothing compared to what these ladies are riding today.
Yeah, and here we have our three female finalists there. Debbie Struder on the right for Switzerland, Nina Vabra for France, and Vera Baron for Spain. Is Nina wearing jeans?
She is wearing jeans, and I was wondering when I saw her checking out the courses earlier if that was a strategy to acclimate to the heat and then take them off and not feel so hot.
That could be.
Flexibility is a big thing for these riders, and I'm surprised to see her wearing jeans out there.
That could be a good angle, Jeff.
Yeah.
So amazing to see these European riders make it all the way out here to Bentonville Bike Fest. So this is an official UCI C1. So all of these scoring and points will accumulate for their overall scores for their UCI ranking, and then we can see some of the courses there that's been put together here by the team. What a fantastic work. And you were actually in the qualifiers, weren't you, yesterday, Jeff?
Yeah, getting to stand next to some of these obstacles really puts everything in perspective. I'm a pretty big guy, 6'4", so when these obstacles feel big next to me standing to them, you can imagine how big they are for average size riders. This pipe that we're looking at, for instance, that would be over my head right there. Like, this is some big stuff that these riders are riding on.
No ramps.
No
Maybe
ramps.
in 93 you would be getting up that, right? But you'd have some assistance.
Sure, with a big ramp, get onto that thing. This pipe right there, that's over my head. It's amazing the level of riding that these guys and girls are doing nowadays.
So these women will be going through the pink gates or checkpoints. So this is what Debbie's just looking at now. She's looking at her route. The riders are not told where to go. They need to figure out their own route, but obviously in order of the numbers.
Yes, that's pretty exciting. Something that's changed over the years is the gate format. When we used to compete back in the day, much tighter ribbons on both sides, and it would direct you through the whole course. Now the riders get a little bit more ability to choose their route. They do need to go through the gate to get those points, but they can approach it from different angles, and part of it is walking through like you see them doing right now and just memorizing where you need to go. They only have 2 minutes to get through these courses, so you got to keep moving, and remembering where you need to go is half the battle.
It's a bit like Formula One, them visualizing the course, the track, the race. There's so many different ways that we can call this, but they must do them in order. They cannot cross any lines of tape that we're seeing, so they're kind of invisible walls. So let's kick off with Debbie Struder. She's going to take us through section number 1, going through the pink checkpoints. So what part of the bike do they need to get through these gates there, Jeff?
So they need to get both tires up and around the gates. They can't go over them. And in order to get the points for the gate, you need to go through it. You can't go to it. You have to go through the gate in order to get the points. There's usually there's always 6 gates on every single course. Sometimes there's an A and a B. There could even be a C. In order to get the points, you need to go through all A, B, and C to get the points for each gate. Each gate gets you 10 points. 6 gates per course, maximum of 60 points per course.
So that's what the riders are going to want to be going for here, is a maximum score. And if they put their foot down, which you might hear me and Jeff call a dab, you might get a dab, is also like a penalty, perhaps. So they won't get those points for that particular gate.
But you can get it for the next.
Yes.
As long as you don't accrue more than 5 dabs per course.
Yeah, and if they put their foot down 5 times, that's what we will call a 5, and that just means that ride is over for that rider in the section. Only one chance at this. The riders don't get second goes. Every rider only has one chance to complete the section.
Yeah, so Debbie's picked up 1 point or 1 dab on this course so far. Going through that last gate, it looks like she made contact with her pedal going up that big rock bunny hop, so prevented her from getting the points on that gate.
Yeah, we just see her put a foot down there again. So that's going to be 2 dabs. We'll see the adjudicators and the official observers putting their fingers up. That's what it means. And that will be Debbie's ride. She's managed to score some points. Always think it's hard to be the first rider to go, right? You know, you want to watch them and see how they do it.
Definitely, you know, you get to see other riders take a look at it. Also, sometimes just seeing a rider do something unlocks your mind and makes you realize that it is possible. You know, even these riders at the level that they're riding, sometimes seeing is believing. So seeing your fellow competitor make it through, seeing what might have given them a challenge, and then knowing to avoid that definitely could be an advantage.
Yeah. And they're going in order that they qualified. So you can see now Nina Vabra for France. Her first time in America as well, chatting with her. She's absolutely loved her experience so far. Done a little bit of traveling on her way whilst bringing her bike. So let's see how Nina Vabra does in section number 1. The 2-minute timer has begun. They only have 2 minutes. So we can see she's got to get the front axle through that gate, then the rear axle. And actually going backwards.
That was interesting. That was real interesting.
That is allowed.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you go forwards or backwards. You can score points. Just get through the gate nice and clean.
And I think that was just all part of being efficient. You know, these are long courses. You got to keep moving. So rather than going straight through and needing to make a whole bunch of turns, just hopped off that backwards, was set up for the next move, saved her a bunch of time.
Yeah. Another experienced elite rider. Nina is only 20 years old as well, and really been progressing through the sport. So should be another 10 points for Nina through that gate.
Yep, so making it up that same up as Debbie did, but avoided the pedal contact or foot contact on that, got the points.
Yes, it's not just their foot actually, we might add. So she took a dab there. If they touch a pedal or a bash like the frame, that's also a dab, right?
Yep. Yeah, so that's something good to point out. Sometimes a rider could look like they're clean, but it could just be that incidental contact of your pedal making contact or your bash guard. Any of that stuff will prevent you from getting the points. You got to stay clean and only on the rubber, on your tires.
Such a good turnout this weekend too. You can see the crowd there. So on to the next gate. She's using that rock to set up for the pink gate just at the top on the screen. We can see she's got to aim for that checkpoint there, so she's using that rock to kind of give her some assistance, but I think she's out of time there. Great ride from Nina. Super hot day today too, right?
Super hot day, but you can see the crowd is already building. By the time the men go off in about another 30 minutes or so, this place is going to be completely packed.
Yeah, some of these riders may not be acclimatized to this weather. Some of the qualifiers yesterday, just the riders sweating in one day that they'd probably sweat in an entire summer.
Yeah, and it's so interesting. After the competition, you still see people riding around, expending lots of energy. But in these hot, humid conditions, it really could drain it from you. And all these moves are plyometric, explosive moves, so you need to have lots of energy.
So Vera Baron now is a previous world champion. As you can see, those rainbow colors on the sleeves and neck of her jersey. She was a champion back in 2024. I think it was a world champion, is actually currently the World Cup champion. So we see if we get any slightly different approaches. Looking really clean and comfortable so far.
Very clean and confident, moving through here very quick and consistently.
Vera actually said once she'd like to compete with the boys. That's how much how confidence is nowadays. So let's see how she does here today. Making her way up and over these obstacles like it's just a ride in the park. I must say they make it look easy because these guys dedicate their entire lives to training and riding and committing to this sport. You really have to have a serious passion to be successful in this sport, and you know that, Jeff.
Yeah, she's really moving through the course. It looks like she left herself some time to make it through this last gate, so let's see if she is the first female that can do it.
Right up to the front wheel.
A little a different approach than the other riders right here.
Put your hands together for Vera.
If there's anything we know, Vera's going to really avoid putting the foot down or taking what we call a tactical dab, because a rider could put their foot down on purpose, right?
Yep, so sometimes it's just a means to an end. You know that you're not going to be able to make the move. Rather than call it a day at that obstacle, you put your foot down, you take an intentional dab, a strato dab for strategic dab, and you just move on to the next obstacle and you try to keep accumulating points rather than stopping at that feature.
So now we're moving to section number 2. You notice all of our riders here are riding 20-inch trials bikes. Some of them are slightly different setup. Debbie's got a dual disc setup, a little bit of a smoother option perhaps, but a bit more weight involved.
Yeah, not too many disc brake bikes out here. You know, a lot of the riders, they like to grind their rims that has a real rough rim surface, use a rim brake. It allows them to control the brakes a little bit better because you're stopping the wheel at the outer diameter. So believe it or not, you can get some flex between that rotor and the wheel. And when you're doing these super precise precision maneuvers, that could be enough when you're dealing with a game of inches or millimeters. That could be enough to throw you off. So they like to lock the wheels at the rim surface for the most precise bite.
Yeah, we can see Debbie's actually riding a full carbon bike there. The frame, the forks and the handlebars are all carbon. The stem is not. That's a forged aluminium, but that's a full carbon 20-inch trials bike.
What are some of these bikes weighing nowadays, Matt?
I only know in kilos. I know over here you're in pounds, so if anyone's got the internet, they can figure them out. But probably between 7 and 8 kilograms.
Wow, that's amazing.
So sometimes I like to call them paperweights with wheels. But it really is about the control and maneuverability of the bike. It's all good it being lightweight, but you still need to get that control. Maybe a little bit different from your time.
You know, the riders have always sought lighter weight bikes, but again, back in my day, we were the American riders. We'd cruise around on suspension forks and all kinds of weird stuff.
You had gears as well.
We would have gears. I think every trials event I ever did, I always had 7 gears on my bike and a suspension fork, which is kind of crazy to think of.
Wow. Yeah, none of those options here today. Nope. Rigid bikes, 1 gear, nice and easy. It's a very good start from Debbie on section number 2, just kind of starting us off there. Again, super nerve-wracking to be the first rider. I mean, I feel like sometimes I'd like to be the first one because you just get over and done with. So, look at this off-spin, a bit of style.
Yeah, a little bit of showing off there. That was pretty neat. Yeah, being the first rider definitely is a challenge, which is why qualifying is so important to try to earn that higher spot, so that you see the other riders go through and you see those challenges and you see what trips them up, and it gives you some intel to know what to avoid.
And these riders aren't getting points for any style or any flair or tricks. This is very black and white, kind of 0 or not. You get the points, you get through the gate, or you don't. So there's no bonus points, only respect.
Yeah, and like you said earlier, you have a 2-minute time limit. It doesn't matter if you finish in 30 seconds or a minute and 59. You just need to finish within 2 minutes in order to get those points. You can have the best ride, but if you don't make it out of that finish gate in time, doesn't count. You don't get any points.
Yeah. This is what Jeff was talking about earlier with the Nina's running a front rim brake there. That's what the squeak is that we can hear when Jeff mentioned they grind the rims. Yeah, that sounds crazy to do, but it's completely normal for us.
It's the lightest option, and it's the most precise option. So, you know, for trials, you're not going to get any modulation. You can't ride down a hill and use your brakes, but it's going to stop exactly where you want it to stop.
20 points so far for Nina. No dabs taken, just through that gate. Nice. Just another completed gate for Nina. You see them, we'll see quite a few of this particular move. It's like a hanging hook motion, which kind of new in the sport, right? Is that the type of thing you did back in the day, Jeff, on your competitions?
No, so that move became popular as the bikes got longer and the stems got longer and the bottom brackets got higher. It allowed that move to be possible. You know, in the early days of mountain bike trials, bottom brackets were quite a bit lower. If you tried to do that hook, your feet were pinned underneath the handlebars and the handlebars were in your lap. Now with the higher bottom brackets and the longer reach, you can get in that position and not feel like you're under the bike, and it allows you then to explode upwards and get onto higher things than we ever thought was possible.
Oh, so a little mishap from Nina there. I think she jumped to front wheel and both feet came off the pedals. That was not a planned dismount at all. But fantastic effort from Nina.
I believe she made it through that course with 30 points, so still a pretty good showing, picking up half the points for that course.
And even if they get through the gate, so let's say the front axle, the back axle goes through the gate, and then they fall off, they actually still get the points, right?
Once you've made it through the gate. If you get that dab beforehand, then you won't get it, but if it's after the fact, you get everything that happened before you had that dab.
So like some tactic could be, if you don't think you're going to land the other side, just send it, right? Just send it, the bike's through, it doesn't matter about me.
Send it.
So this will be our third and final rider for section number 2 is Vera Baron, representing Spain. We're going to want to see Vera. She's definitely going to want to get through on a maximum score of 60 points. So let's see how Vera does. 10 points so far.
The speed and efficiency she rides with is amazing.
She's always training with, you know, some of the best riders in the world. Spain has produced some of the best trials riders in the world, and she's constantly training with them, always wanting to improve. Seriously committed to the sport, Vera is.
It shows. She's moving through these courses faster than the other riders with more confidence and making it to the end, which seems to be a problem for some of the other riders. She moves with efficiency and gets there.
Beautiful swap.
Right up the back tire.
Yeah, this was what we were talking about, getting in that hook motion and then really shifting the body weight so that they're getting that onto the back wheel.
There's that hook again.
Super relaxed as well. I bet you the cameramen are sweating more than she is right now. It's that hot. But this is good, really good so far. This is the furthest we've seen one of our female riders get through. So now moving on to the 5th gate. These are sub gates now, so she's got a 5A and B, I believe. So nice hook through to B.
Crowd's digging that.
And she rides out, so that's another clean ride from Vera. Maximum scoring so far. She couldn't have done any better.
That was an amazing ride.
Yeah, she looks really comfortable today. Coming in like 2 cancelled flights, arriving to Bentonville at 2 in the morning. I just had
Sounds
to go.
like a common theme.
I know. I had to go. I was sleeping outside the airport just to collect her.
Oh, wow.
So here you can see the slow-mos here of Vera. Just like looking ahead, right? You think, how do you get up to that? But they make it look easy. They do, because these guys live and breathe bike trials. Debbie Struder for Switzerland now, starting us off with section number 3. This is a little bit more of like the quarry section. We haven't come up with any names yet, Jeff. We should definitely do that at some point. But section number 3.
I would say if there was going to be a something coin the quarry section, this would be it.
Yeah.
Lots of rocks in this one. Section 1 had quite a bit of rock, but a lot more built-in elevation on that one. Number 2 had a lot of cement and wood features. I know the ones coming up are a lot of cement and wood. This one, lots of rock.
Yeah. It's like these have. It's like the first section is like more just all natural, kind of going into the end. And here now we can see it's sort of natural man-made combination here. So this is a big up for Debbie, going to front, but she's put her foot down. So she won't get the points for that gate so far. We can see the scoring just up in the top left there. Struder on 50, Nina Vabra on 70, and obviously Vera Baron scoring maximum points so far on 120.
One more ride like that, and she'll put the entire competition out of reach for the other riders.
Essentially, yeah.
Clean one more.
Yeah, so it could be a battle for second place here so far, but could make a mistake. You know, if their bike breaks in the section, that's it for their ride. You know, they physically can't carry on. So hopefully that doesn't happen today, but it does happen.
That's what's so exciting about watching trials like this. You never know what's going to happen, and things can change so quickly. Just when things seem like they're going perfect, one little slip up, you could end your course, end your day. Anything's possible.
And here we go. There's that tactical dab, as we can see. She's using that foot to get to the obstacle and pull the bike up, but now she needs to get down.
All right, keeping it moving. Let's see if she can still collect some points on this course.
That might be her time for now. She's through, so good start from Debbie. Well done. Yeah, the crowd's really starting to build up here now as well. So starting with the female elite, and then later on we'll be going on to the men's. But good, really good move from Debbie on that gate there. She really brought the front wheel in just to allow that back to follow. I mean, generally, once you get that front wheel in, the back's always gonna follow. Nina Vabra for France on section number 3. Right, here we go. The 2 minutes for Nina has begun. Well, having to take a second attempt there, didn't quite feel comfortable on the first try. Wow, rolling through really nicely.
Yeah, there you go. That second approach was much quicker and cleaner.
So 10 points so far.
Now this next move tripped up Debbie. Let's see how she does.
Ooh, just making that. We could see she almost touched the bash.
Almost had some contact with her foot or pedal. Avoided it, got the points.
That's all it takes. Millimeters can change everything in this sport. We often call them inch chasing, just to get better. You know, on Sunday I did half an inch higher, and that's a big deal for a trials rider. So
yeah, when you get to that real high level, those gains get so much harder. And when you go out and train, you know, as a newer rider, you might be able to pick up 2, 3, 4 inches, bunny hop higher, gap further. when you get to this elite level, you're talking millimeters, inches. You could train several weeks, go a ½ inch, and that's a big, big deal.
Ooh, I think she's down. Yeah, so didn't quite get her body weight forward enough. So you can see, yeah, so she didn't quite get in the center there. Lost her balance. So, and look at that, Vera, probably one of the smiliest riders that we see. I've seen her fall off the bike and just laugh, and at the end of the day, doesn't matter really what people are scoring. We're here to have fun, right?
It's amazing that positive attitude could be infectious. And sometimes this is a lonely sport when you're out there training. You know, it could get really frustrating. And that's the type of attitude that you need to have in order to keep things going. Because if you're the type of person that when you're out on your bike and you come across an obstacle and you try it once and you don't get it, you're never going to make it very far in the sport. You need to be the type of rider that's going to sit there all day until you finally conquer that obstacle.
And it can get lonely. You're just in your head. You can't talk to anyone. You know, you may be able to shout to the observer time so that the riders can ask for how long they've got left. It might help them maybe take a break, take a breather, because if you're going to be efficient, you want to use all of that 2 minutes. So gate number 4 already, flying through here. Vera's looking extra comfortable. You see, this is a tricky gate here. There's tape just on the side of the log there, so she has to come from this side. Front wheel, staying in the tape. Ooh. This is tight.
So impressive.
Yeah.
The amount of control and balance to hop up close to 3 feet and land on a telephone pole, back up, and then go for that move is just amazing.
Nice. So that's gate number 4. She's coming to the end now. This could be that was the 6th gate.
Yep, so she's got a perfect 180 points so far.
Yeah. Another clean ride from Vera Baron there. Yeah, and we have some of the other riders here coming to watch, of all ages. Just looks so comfortable as well. The heat doesn't seem to be phasing Vera today.
I don't think it doesn't seem like anything's phasing her today. She's been perfect up to this point.
I know we was chatting with her. She was saying she was a little bit nervous last night, but she says as soon as I'm on the pedals and I'm in there, she's happy, she's focused, and I'm sure that's the same for a lot of riders. Debbie Strudenau for Switzerland. You can see there's a whole collection of observers or judges, maybe you want to call them, because everyone needs to watch very closely to make sure that there's no touch of any part of the bike other than the tires. Sometimes you need a whole kind of crew to do that. So gate number 1 for Debbie. I think this is my favorite section so far that they've put together, obviously completely man-made. It's got kind of the big moves, some of the technical stuff. She used a technical dab to get through that gate.
So not picking up the points for that one, but she did get the first 10. There's still 40 more on the table for her to get, but she's going to need to get moving if she wants to pick up some more points on this course.
And a tough takeoff, went for the side up, but she's going to have to go again. You can see all of her power is getting absorbed by that mulch, so making it that little bit extra harder to kind of get that explosiveness.
Yeah, I was going to say, doing these moves, that's a high side hop off of a firm surface. Doing it out of that soft mulch, it really sucks your energy and makes that jump that much harder, but the second attempt, she got it perfect.
Yeah. They must stay within this within the section as well, that rope there. If any point the bike goes across that rope, it's like an invisible wall. they will be out for that section. Nice, I think that was the gate number 3. She's seeing, just asking for the time as well, just to figure out, can I take 5-second break? Can I take a 10-second break? Like,
it's really hard to make it through these courses and take any breaks. They're long, they're challenging, they really require you to keep moving. Oh.
She's just out of time there, and that's the thing you were saying. You want to keep moving, right? But if you go too quick, you get tired, fatigue will set in, and then you're more likely to make the mistake. So this is really tough balance, right? To kind of gauge all of your time efficiently. See a lovely move there from Debbie, rolling up, just doing a quick 90 turn, not 90s, 90 degree turn.
So Matt, in qualifying with the existing format, if you run out of time, can you ride the course to get a look, or once the time has expired, you need to leave?
That's
it. Because back in my day, if you ran out of time, you'd ride out the course in order to get a look, because it might help you the second or third time. Now I know in the finals they're only riding it one time, so it's not going to help them. But
I think it's generally, from my experience, it's based off, you know, competition by competition. If there's enough time, like if the comp has more hours, they'll let the riders carry on. But if they've got a very strong time constraint, they'll say, sorry, you need to move on. But absolutely, imagine that. It's if the first time round you mess up on the first gate, you don't even get to see the rest of the course for the second time round. But for the finals, only one chance.
And that's what's exciting about the finals, is that sense of urgency. You know, for a lot of these riders, the second time through, as long as, you know, it's not too hot or you're not running out of energy, that second time is typically going to be better. You've already had a look at it, you've seen what those particular moves feel like, and then you can kind of clean it up the second time around. In this format, you're getting one shot. You're not allowed to practice it. You're not allowed to do your first run through in the finals is your only run through. So you really have that sense of urgency, and that's where the term observed trials comes from. You see these guys following them around, holding up their hands, they're observing, and the trials is the trial and error. One try to do it.
I think the observers called this here, so
the axle went out of bounds.
The axle, this could be like the length of her bike too. The rear axle didn't quite go through that gate, so she got, as we were saying, a 5, which means, you know, all 5 dabs used, and she won't be able to carry on. So really unfortunate there for Nina.
That's super unfortunate.
I know, and it's a tough thing to warm up for too. Like, how do you get in that mode? How do you warm up for all these big moves when you only get one chance? You can't just go and ride the other sections. You're not allowed to warm up in those sections. So it's kind of like, once you're in, this is your ride. No practice allowed. Vera Baron for Spain now. Can she keep her clean sheet?
Is my
European champion, former world champion, making gate number 1 look simple.
All right, Matt, I think if my math is correct, picking up those 2 gates now, if she gets through this next one, she'll mathematically have this win sealed. Because even if any other riders make it through that last course, they won't be able to make up more than 60 points, so she's done it.
And making sure there, Vera not even putting the full bike on, straight up to back wheel, gapping to the next gate. I think we can safely say that Vera Baron. Here we are as well, back Bentonville Bike Fest 2026. Here in the women's elite finals here at Bentonville Bike Fest 2026, following Vera Baron in section number 4. So far a clean sheet. She's been riding really well.
2 more gates on this course to go, in order to keep the perfect streak going. That was amazing.
That was beautiful. So casually done. That's a huge move as well from Vera. Fantastic work. Flying through to the final
There you
gate.
go.
Maximum,
Another clean, perfect run.
maximum score there for Vera Baron in section number 4. So we're just finishing up here now with the women's elite finals, and we'll shortly be moving on to the men's elite finals here in Bentonville. My name is Matt Pengelly. I'm with my trusty co-host, the bike trial mountain bike legend, Jeff Lanoski. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing great. Watching the event so far today, the level of riding has been amazing. We're looking at our winner right there, Vera Baron. She's already accumulated 240 points. You can only collect 60 points per course, so she's mathematically sealed this deal with 4 perfect rides so far.
Yeah, and nobody can catch her up, but let's see, we've got... Yeah, so right now we are looking at Debbie Struder for Switzerland, section number 5. Will not be able to score enough to get in first position because Vera's just shot through to the top with that completely clean score. I mean, amazing riding so far. The women's trials here has very much progressed over the years.
I mean, to put it in perspective, her performance today, even if we combined both riders, she still collected more points. Absolutely flawless performance and confidence the whole way through.
Yeah, she's definitely clicked on the bike today. The weather doesn't seem to have phased her. Some of the other European riders might not quite be acclimatized to this. We'll certainly see that in the men's. They'll be sweating today more than they will in the entire summer in Europe.
Yeah, so this is Debbie's last course. She's been putting in an amazing ride. I think I've seen her at every Bentonville Bike Festival, or at least the past several years. She's always a fan favorite. Always has a great cheery attitude. These competitions could be intense, but you still see smiles on everybody's faces as they're out there riding.
Yeah, these women really do ride for the love. And oh, look at that gate as well, gapping to back wheel. Really well done from Debbie. Oh, she just hit a handlebar, which meant she put her foot down. So for this gate, she can't get the points because she put her foot down. Purely just knocking
something, yeah, something so silly.
Yeah, that's all it takes. Really, really small mistake. So I wonder how she's going to approach this. Like a roll up? Is she going to bounce into this gate? She's aiming for the pink little flags that we see. In a second, she's got to go between those pink flags. She knows that she can put her foot down there because she can't get the points. So, and maneuvering, so using the foot down as best she can,
just to keep it moving and then allow herself to collect this last gate here for an extra 10 points.
And just see how narrow that gate is. It's just the width of that log. I think she may be out of time. There we go. Debbie Struder, all the way from Switzerland, a veteran of Bike Fest. I think she's been to more Bike Fests than me. Well done, Debbie. Fantastic, fantastic ride.
Great ride today.
Yeah, and there's Raddy as well supporting. Great to see our mascot, Raddy. He looks so happy.
Could you imagine being in that mascot suit today? We're in the air-conditioned control booth here. It's hot out there. We're watching Jason Schwindebart announcing live right now. He's dripping sweat. The checkers are dripping sweat. The riders, obviously. I can't imagine being in that mascot costume.
Yeah, I hope he's got plenty of water.
Yes.
Keeping them hydrated. So Nina Vabra now for France. She's one of the best female riders in the world. Ranking within the top 5 right now, it kind of changes quite quickly. So I know she's in the top 5 ranked female riders today. First gate completed.
Yeah, so talk a little bit about the point system and how these riders accumulate points.
Yeah, so these checkpoints that we're seeing and the flags, these riders have to get through their front and back axle through those flags to get 10 points. There are six opportunities to get points, so 60 points per section. Each rider is only given 2 minutes to complete this, so they are under a time constraint as well. So they've got to complete each section and do it within 2 minutes. Now what we're seeing here is a bit of a tactical dab. They're basically putting a foot down to get the bike through, but that means she won't get the 10 points. So as we were saying, each gate 10 points, but if you've put your foot down like that, you can't get any points, but it does allow you to carry on to accumulate points later on in the section. Let's see how she approaches this one. She's going to do it cleanly. Yep, well done. 10 points there for Nina.
Keeping it moving. I think I heard the timer say 1:33, so she still has about 20 seconds left to go. So she's still going to have an opportunity to pick up some points.
Is she going to go backwards through this gate? So she needs to go where her rear wheel is. Yeah, she's just called it time there. Still happy and somehow riding in jeans.
Yeah.
We did say I thought this was a tactic, but maybe she forgot to take them off. That's impressive.
We've seen some impressive performances this afternoon. That's really impressive in this hot Bentonville heat.
Yeah. See the control and balance that we're going to see from these riders today is second to none. I mean, some of the most technical riding will be happening today here at Bentonville Bike Fest. So Vera Baron is a guaranteed winner today, but I can tell you now, so she could just roll in and get off the bike and still win.
She could, but I have a feeling that she's going to want to finish this day with a perfect score, so she's going to do everything she can to make that happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to prove that she can get a full clean slate. So first 10 points.
This is like a show run. She just did that whole balance line on her back tire, picking up the first 20 points. So she's got 4 more gates to go through.
Yeah, aiming for, as we say, these pink flags, checkpoints. You'll see some of the other, you might see some of the yellows, white tape and some of these yellow flags. That will be a little bit later on for our men's elite finals. That'll be one not to miss either. So how's she going to do? She's going to gap on the back wheel.
Nice.
So nice.
Perfect.
Really well controlled.
2 more gates to go to finish a perfect day.
She's just chilling. Yeah, taking her time.
So we've seen the other 2 ladies make it through this one. The next one, the 6th gate, seems to be the one that's really giving everybody problems. So it'll be interesting to see how Vera tackles that one.
Front to back motion, doesn't even need to do it.
Nope.
So clean so far from Vera. 1 gate left to go to secure that clean sheet.
All right, so a totally different side than the other riders.
Yeah. I wonder how she's going to approach it. Very clever. Through the gate. There we go. So that's A. 6A. Straight through, rolling out.
That was smart riding. And that's what's really cool about the gates is it allows the riders to interpret everything a little bit differently. So she found a very clever line. Perfect day. 60 points on 5 courses.
Generally, I know that's what Vera likes to aim for. She doesn't want anything else but a perfect score. And there you are looking at today's winner of the Women's Elite Finals here in Bentonville Bike Fest 2026. The crowd is still going to start building here because it's not over yet, is it, Jeff?
It is far from over. I noticed the Shindig logo on Vera's jersey. Does that include rides from the airport?
Yes.
It's like kind of like an Uber.
Yeah. That's how we do. We give her free Uber rides too.
Awesome.
Yeah, she is actually an official Shindig rider, and we try and support the sport, not just run as much as we can. But Vera's a die-hard fan of the brand, and she's very much supported it through there. So it was only right that she was brought on board as our first female representative. So I think we're going to cut over to some of our men elite riders now. They're just sort of warming up behind the tent. As we were saying, tough to warm up. There's no huge obstacles behind the tent other than these blocks that we see. But here we have the men's elite riders for Bentonville Bike Fest 2026 here in Arkansas.
Yeah, I think that on a day like today, it's more about loosening up than warming up. I think the warming up is being pretty natural. It's a hot, humid day.
Just stand there.
There's no doubt that these riders are warmed up. I'm sure they're looking for ways to loosen up, so we're taking a look at them right now. I'd call this backstage, getting loosened up.
Yeah, loosened up.
These obstacles, when you go into them cold, it's super difficult. Once you get that first course under your belt, you get a little bit loosened up.
Featuring our current elite world champion, Alejandro Montalvo.
Well, I think we will get to it very, very soon, the final shots of these guys, so I'm excited. I hope you are, Jeff.
Yeah, this is going to be an exciting final with these top 6 riders.
Big shout out to Canada from Belgium, Belgium, Bentonville, Arkansas, the founder of Bentonville Bike Fest, a 9-time world champion, wrestling athlete. If you see Kenny, give him a high five because he has something quite a while to get this thing going for you guys. Kenny Belay, and his army of volunteers.
Welcome to the Bentonville Bike Fest.
Well, you gotta check it out. It's the best event in town. I love watching everyone do like the cool tricks and everything, and I just feel like it's such a great time.
Good. Let's go. Smoked them.
Yeah, you see that Letter Wicks project?
Alejandro Montalvo, Eloy Palau, Nilo Sembo, Johnny Cigar, and Samuel Lowery alongside Sean Farrar. Put your hands together for our elite riders today.
We're here at Bentonville Bike Fest 2026, brought to you by Mobil One, actually inside one of the trial sections. My name's Matt Pengelly, and I'm with probably a legendary host and legendary rider, Jeff Lanoski. How are you doing today, Jeff?
I'm doing great. It's awesome to be here for my 6th Bentonville Bike Fest.
So you've been to like all of them. We're actually in the section, like amongst it all, where the riders were riding yesterday to qualify, and they'll be riding today. You were also in here whilst they were riding. How did you find that?
It was unbelievable. So I had the opportunity to announce yesterday the qualifying and watch what the riders were doing. To say it was mind-blowing is an understatement, and to think that they're going to turn it up several notches today in the finals, I just don't know how they're going to do it.
I mean, it's probably one of the highest levels of discipline of cycling. Yes, they'll be on these obstacles right behind us, on top of them. How does that compare to when you competed?
Well, the training has gotten better, so the athletes are better, the bikes are better, the skill, the precision, the magnitude, it's off the charts.
So the riders, 5 sections, 6 gates, 10 points per gate, which means they can get a maximum of
60 points, 5 courses, that's 300 points. You're looking for the person that finishes with the most points possible. That'll determine the winner this afternoon.
Let's see who's going to win today.
YOLO. Yellow.
Well, here we are with the qualifiers from yesterday. You got to see this in hand. This is Sean Farrar representing America.
Yep, he's one of the top riders in America. This was yesterday's qualifying action. And looking at the courses and the level of riding that happened yesterday, thinking that it's going to be even more difficult today, I don't know how they come up with these challenges. I was asking Wes Belay, one of the people who sets the courses, how they determine what's possible, because you stand next to some of these obstacles and they're just absolutely massive and you scratch your head and it just doesn't seem possible. It seems like it defies physics, and yet they still make it through.
Yeah, and it kind of has to be done by trials riders because they know the ability of these riders, but they also have to know how to push them. Because as we're going to see here today, Samuel Lavity for representing Slovakia, and that's Eloy. As we're going to see here today, this is the craziest technical, most controlled discipline on any bicycle discipline.
Yeah, and as all this was taking place, the rest of the entire Bentonville Bike Festival was going on. So all kinds of family rides, food, different clinics for people. So not just trials happening yesterday, but an entire bike festival with tons of stuff for all different types of riders.
Yeah, it's been a great family place to come and ride and hang out. So, and here is our start list. So in order of the qualifying, you see Sean Farrar for America there, Nilo Stanval for Finland, Samuel Lavity for Slovakia, Eloy Palau, Alejandro Montalvo, and Danny Segarra, Spanish on top there, as you can see.
Something's telling me that the Spanish seem to have a pretty good lock on this trials thing.
So
we saw the ladies finals, Spaniard taking the top step, and now we have the top 3 qualifiers in the men's class.
So this is section number 1 now. Sean Farrar representing the entirety of America up against these European riders. That's nerve-wracking. His 2 minutes has begun. So only 2 minutes per section, 6 gates, 60 points, 300 points up for grabs. So it hasn't quite got through. You can just see the start. This is gate 1, Jeff.
This is gate 1, course 1.
This is,
I mean, that rock that he's trying to get onto is, you can look at the checker next to him. That's shoulder height. These are massive, massive obstacles with no runway, or the runway that's there has a big block in the way. So you have to determine whether or not you want to use that block as a slight stepping stone or what your approach is going to be, but it adds an inconvenience in front of an already massive obstacle.
It's tough. We saw Sean's taken a few goes there. He wasn't sure whether to use the roll, jump for it, because that's a big gap. He's got to stay within the tape as well. Getting that front wheel over, this is tough. All right, well, there's no points for Sean so far. I think he's going to be so gutted with that. This is showing the level of this final right now. That's his brother Ian Farrar, both American riders. Ian just missing out on the final. We could have had 2 Americans here. So you can see from this angle, he's got to stay within the tape. Front wheel goes out, and that's it. He's out because he's got to stay within that tape. Nilo Stenvall now for Finland. He's riding a 20-inch trials bike, full carbon there. Everything, the forks, the frame, and the bars all carbon. Let's see how Nilo does.
Just the amount of explosive power and plyometric that needs to go into that move just to get the first course started is absolutely unbelievable.
Oh, he's taken a dab there, as we're saying. So we're going to be using the word dab, which is kind of a checkpoint or kind kind of lifesaver.
Yeah, we just started off the competition. For the viewers tuning in that might not be familiar, let's just talk about the rules real quick, the format of how these competitions operate.
Yeah, so they're going to want to score. They've got 60 points is up for grabs per section, and they're going to get 10 points per gate. So that's 6 gates. There will be a few sub-gates, so like a 5A and B, which means they'll have to get 5A and 5B to get the 10 points. And with only 2 minutes per section to complete this, the riders need to be going through those yellow flags, like checkpoints, or gates as we call them. You've got to get your front axle through, back axle through, and then each time they accumulate through those gates will count towards their final scoring. As we can see now, 30 points so far.
Yep, so if you're tuning in and you're trying to make sense of this, you have a gigantic pile of stuff, and then there'll be 6 different gates. So that's right now, you see these little yellow markers. You need to get your front axle and your rear axle through that to get the points. There's also some ribbons that designate where you can't go in and out of, to just make things a little bit more concise. So right here, for instance,
it's a good example.
Sometimes it's wide open, you just need to get through the gates. Here, they really set boundaries in order to direct the riders. And he crossed over the tape, resulting in a 5. A 5 means you no longer can continue the course, and you only are allowed to accumulate the points that you've made up until that point.
Yeah, and I saw Nilo in the qualifying yesterday. He told me he hasn't sweated that much in his life. He was really struggling yesterday, so I'm sure today isn't any different. The next rider up I can see, we've got Samuel Hlavety for Slovakia, one of the smoothest riders out there. He's just so elegant, and we actually call him Samuel Levitate.
Okay, because he likes another 20-inch bike taking a different approach, coming inside of the rock, not using it as a stepping stone. There you go. Making it up and over that obstacle, so getting that first 10 points.
And Samuel's another Bike Fest veteran here, flying through the first couple of gates here. And now we can see just ahead of him, you see those yellow flags? That is where the rider's aiming for, and it kind of looks impossible. So that was his first attempt. He's got to get his front and back axle through, and only the tires can touch, nothing else. Wow.
Sometimes the recoveries these riders pull off is as impressive as making the move. It's good that you're able to get another shot at it, but you are using up time. And like we said, you have to make it through the course in the 2-minute time limit. You can go all the way to minute 59, but if you go over 2 minutes, you don't collect the points for that course.
Yeah. So, he's scrambling through a little bit from Sam. He's using a little bit more calculated, so the pressure and the heat is definitely getting to the riders. This is a big gate. We saw Nilo getting in that hooking position. He's got to watch his toes. It's just millimeters from touching. Flipping to back wheel, yes! And just showing the progression of the sport.
That was amazing.
Right? This is... he knows he's only got a few seconds to go. He's calling it there. So 40 points for Samuel, same as Nilo. So, you know what? This could be a really close race today.
Yeah. Made it through a little bit further, made it over this one obstacle, but had some trouble early on, so missed out on 10 points, so same score.
This is Eloy Palau now, our first of the 3 Spanish riders competing in the final. They might be from the same country. They all train together most of the time, but there is some healthy rivalry happening here today.
I'm sure. Having those friends to train with allow you to push the level, and it really drives up you know, all ships rise with the tide, so they're all going to improve, but it also creates some good rivalries. And also you're really familiar with what your competitors are capable of, so it really turns these competitions into a chess match, because you know what is another rider's strong suit and you know what can challenge them.
Oh, so that's caught out 2 riders now. Eloy is a previous world champion. This was back in, I think, Abu Dhabi in 22. You can see that's why he's got the rainbow on his sleeves there. So he's a previous world champion as well. That's it. He's not going to be happy with that silly mistake. We may hear some shouting from the Spanish riders. They are some of the most passionate people in the sport. So he's got to avoid that white tape straight through to the yellow. He's through. Yeah, looking good so far. Now up to the rock ahead of him. I mean, look, he's looking up.
There's so much nuance that's happening on these courses that's really hard to pick up on the TV screen. The run-up to that last obstacle, it was a pretty steep run-up with tons of loose stuff, and to watch them generate that power and just get going so quickly is so impressive.
And super tight run-ups. You can see here, this obstacle is really high up. And what, 2 pedals? 2 full pedals, that's it. But he makes it. Beautifully done from Eloy. Now the 6th.
134
So,
Okay, about 20 seconds left. 1 more gate to go. Will he collect 10 more points than the previous riders?
let's see, so he's on par with our other riders, but he needs to get this. Oh, beautiful. Just bouncing in, explosive front wheel, flicking to the back wheel. There should be a 50-pointer there for Eloy. That's a good start for him.
That camera angle does not give that move justice.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough to understand like how insanely hard some of these moves are. You guys at home are just watching them ride and roll into something, but it takes a lot of skill. These riders have been riding their whole lives. Alejandro Montalvo, who is now the current world champion, #1 in the 20-inch category, but today in the C1 we actually mix 20 and 26.
Not unfamiliar with Bentonville Bike Fest and cruising right through.
Beautifully through gate #1.
And he's
He's going to want to make sure he doesn't make the same mistake that Eloy did. Oh.
So controlled.
Yeah, he's super controlled, Alejandro. That angle there again, looking up. Like,
yep.
They're not looking down at the bike, they've got to look up.
And a hook move right up onto.
Again, that's so tough. It's
Totally
really
different approach than the other 2 riders, going for a slightly lower hook and then pulling it up to 2 tires, making it look pretty easy. So this is what I was talking about before. It doesn't do it justice. That's a pretty steep hill climb right there, and you need to generate all that power with 1 pedal stroke.
He's only getting like 1 full rotation. The gearing is quite easy on a trials bike, but it doesn't make it easy. So just avoiding that toe touching the rock, because he won't get the points in it. Beautifully done. Gaps to the other rock. He didn't even need to do that. Like, plenty of time left, 45 seconds. 2 gates left to go. Taking that run up. Yeah. Again, looking comfortable with section #1. It's only going to get harder from here, though. You think
the explosive power, and some of the other riders were backing up quite a bit further. It looks like he didn't even use the entire runway right there, and has made it cleanest out of any of the riders so far.
Not quite on the first attempt, so instead of using that little kicker they made, he's actually jumping onto it, bouncing, front wheel, flipping to the back, and that will be a maximum score there for Alejandro Montalvo, 60 points. He'll be very happy with that. It's a good start for his final. Lovely gap down to the rock. Just doesn't get points. Now, the riders don't get any points for flair, for style, nothing. It's you get through the gate, no extra points for anything stylish. This is a shame, you know, we'd like to be in that sense, but that's not how this format works.
Nope, trials is all about getting from point A to point B And with that perfect run, it really puts the pressure on Danny now to answer. You know, he's laid down the perfect run. He's gotten those full 60 points. Danny's got to be feeling it right now.
Yeah, and Danny's...
Another Spanish rider.
Oh, I thought he went over. He didn't, luckily. So if he puts his foot over the tape, he can still carry on. If the bike goes over the tape, he cannot carry on. Danny actually qualifying first. He's our youngest rider today in the final, and he's qualified first. He's a previous junior world champion. So that move has caught out a few riders taking a dab, so he cannot get maximum points now.
That was gate 2.
That was gate 2.
So the most he can get is 40 points. Could be the larger size wheel bike. It could be some nerves. We'll see as we get a little bit further into this competition and everybody settles down a little bit. Will he get a little bit more consistent, or will the 20-inch bike perform a little bit better today?
Just getting through that, we could see.
Yep.
Only just. Wow. That was a good reaction. Great reaction from Danny. And you think with a bigger bike, it might be an advantage, but not here.
No, that's, you know, you're like a bull in a china shop right there. There's decreases the amount of room you have to get some speed up for that. But he made that one look pretty proficient, so maybe he's getting his groove back a little bit, shook off a little bit of the nerve. Sometimes, you know, you get those dabs out of the way early on and it just settles you down.
Yeah, it's definitely nerve-wracking here with his first elite final here in Bentonville. This is his first year. Great to see new riders coming over here to America to compete. So, the final gate. See, so he's got through a little bit sloppier than the other riders. Oh! So he went through the gate, put his foot down, which means he won't get the points for that last gate.
Wow.
This is going to be close.
Yeah, he made those last 2 moves. He looked like he was settling down and then just slipped a pedal, sprinting for the exit.
It's all it takes. And do you know what? It might have been a bit of loose gravel. It doesn't matter how big.
A little bit of loose gravel, but knowing that if you don't make it out in time, you're going to lose the points. So you go sprinting for it, lose traction, and next thing you know, you slip the pedal and take a totally unnecessary, totally unexpected dab. Not that a dab is ever expected, but sometimes you have a better idea that's coming than others. Yeah. And I'm sure that one surprised him.
Or you're thinking about the big move in your head, and you forget that I have to ride to that move, and there's tiny rocks on the floor. There's all of these different things that could affect your ride, whether it's big or small. So Sean Farrar now for the USA. This is originally from Colorado. He's riding that Comus aluminium trials bike with the dual rim brakes. Now that was a quick ending for Sean. I didn't quite see from this angle. He just the bike slip out from him.
It looked like he went for a hook and his front tire slipped off, making him go out of bounds, and then ending his run.
Wow, that was a very unfortunate start for Sean on section 2, because that was in the qualifiers yesterday, and he did that very, very confident.
Slightly different approach, but still gotta look at that. Got some tires on that rock yesterday. You think he might have a better idea of how it was going to react, even though it's a slightly different runway. But this just really puts it in perspective. Sean and his brother Ian, they've been staples in the U.S. trial scene. They can go to any competition in the U.S. and dominate, and they're having trouble making it through these elite courses this afternoon.
I think that's where the level kind of changes a lot here. They're now trying to compete with the European level, which, as we can see here, is just like another step.
Yeah.
But that front to back from Nilo Stanval there, so wow, the control and how thin it is on the top. It's really hard to see from you guys at home, but it's incredibly high as well. And then this with style.
Yeah, so walking that course, getting an idea of it before the broadcast, That is a absolutely massive move. That log is on top of a jersey barrier. Everybody at home understands how high a jersey barrier is. Now take a 2-foot diameter log and plop it on top. You have to bunny hop up that, out of that mulch, and then go up another 3 feet onto a crisscross tree. Just absolutely impressive and insane.
So he's through on now. Now this next move is a huge hook. Can't quite see just from this angle yet. We may switch him in, but you'll see it's crazy, crazy big. Here we go. He's got to get up to the top of that.
That's literally as high. That is literally as high as a refrigerator in your kitchen.
Yeah.
If you're sitting at home watching this, walk into your kitchen, stand next to your refrigerator, and these riders just hop to the top of your refrigerator.
And he's
absolutely insane.
the same for that. That's like 5 foot high.
Yep.
Bouncing in. He's through 6. I think that's his ride. That'll be 60 points for Nilo. He knew he needed that. He's happy with that. He's just looking at the observer. I got 60 points, right? Yeah. So look at this. As you said, what a refrigerator.
Yeah, that is a ordinary household refrigerator. And I think it was the second year at Bentonville Bike Fest, they had it was a high jump or a hook competition with Jack Carthy.
That's right.
I mean, this looks like what he set the world record on,
That
and now
could be
they're
close.
just doing it in the middle of a competition.
That could be close to the world record. I don't know the exact height, but it's certainly not far off, Jeff. Absolutely. So Samuel Hlavity now for Slovakia. He's going to want to get through this quickly. I know he likes to be efficient, but he always also wants to get through fast. So you can see from this angle how thin the landing is on this. He's got to get his front wheel in and then back wheel. Not quite enough. Really needs to push a bit more. So he's setting up onto the back. You can just see that explosiveness, the body movement involved in this move.
That's total commitment. So it's interesting. You look at these bikes with the long stem and the handlebars rolled forward. That's all to allow you to get your body weight up and over that front wheel. A lot of times these riders have pads on their stems because they're making contact with their chest on that stem, just getting all that weight as far forward as possible.
He's got a puncture. I could see, yeah, so that's so unfortunate. That's how sharp that obstacle was. His first attempt, it put the wheel out, so he's going to have to very quickly fix that. Some of the riders actually bring 2 bikes with them, so they can just very quickly switch out. We may see from here how sharp that edge is. That's why he would have got that puncture. So, fantastic.
And it's just incredible to think about getting a pinch flat on your front tire because you jumped 6 feet up to your front tire on the edge of something that was too sharp that gave you a pinch flat.
But these guys are pushing the sport, pushing the boundaries, and it's been progressing somehow for the last 20 years. Eloy Palau now, our first Spanish rider, comfortably through gate number 1. This one caught out Samuel, so how is Eloy going? A bit more of a run up. Amazing control.
Just coming into the obstacle with quite a bit more speed so that when you commit to that front wheel, you just have enough momentum to get you up and over.
Again, the height of this obstacle too. To the back wheel, dropping down. The drop down is impressive.
Yeah. That's easily 8 feet up there on top of a...
Oh!
Wow. Again, I am really surprised in seeing this. I've been with these guys for many years, and that is not an Eloy that I'm familiar with. He didn't quite get to that. Maybe the heat's getting to these riders. He's a previous world champion, and that kind of move is usually pretty comfortable for him.
So that is a massive move, and they were doing that in qualifying yesterday, but yesterday the gate was to the left. So it was about 8 inches lower, and they all did that pretty consistently. now they're going on to the knot. It's a little bit taller. I wonder if that was a difference maker or if it's the heat. Either way, that's a massive, massive move.
And like, that's only an inch difference, right? Which is, we talk about like, oh, it's like an inch is tiny. In here, an inch is everything in trials. Just the difference of the gates can change and really make the winner or loser today. So Alejandro Montalvo, this is him visualizing his routes. He's not just kind of like waving his arm around. There's some magic stuff in the air to help him. So Alejandro Montalvo now.
Only rider to make it through section 1 with maximum points.
Yeah.
Let's see if he can do it again. Totally different approach.
Yeah, he's come from much closer, actually a lower rock as well.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, he's going to absolutely pinning that front wheel and swapping. I mean, I'm used to seeing this, and I still get astounded at the level here. So, keeping it controlled. So he's kind of like tapping that front wheel to give him a bit more momentum, landing on the back wheel and holding it that way. It's a fantastic technique. Alejandro's taking more of a run up for this. I'll be curious to see if he's gonna tap the front wheel or just pin it. Pinned, couple of front hops. Oh my
God.
Is that the kind of thing you used to see, Jeff, at your comps?
No, but if you take a look at it from the side profile, you can see how these new bikes, they really lay the rider out and give you so much more room. So those handlebars are directly above or even slightly in front of the axle, which really unlocks that cheat code to make the front wheel completely in play. Back in the day, you know, we would have to go to the back tire that's 3 feet higher. So that's why everything was so low back then. Nowadays, once these bikes are on the back tire, with the bike design and the explosive power of these riders, it's just insane what they're able to do.
Let's see Alejandro's hook here. This is what we call a hook move. Planting, just
making it
well
look like
done.
no problem.
Knows he's running out of time. 4 seconds to go. Is he going to get to the end? No. Just out of time there. So he seems happy though. He's pretty pleased with that run. There we go. Big smile from Alejandro.
That was a great ride.
So we've got one rider left for section number 2, which will be Danny Segara. This is a great angle here. So bouncing in, all that weight on the front, able to do a couple of front hops, maneuver.
You know, maybe if you only went for one hop on the front wheel, he might have had that extra second to make it out of the gate. But that just goes to show how, you know, that was a pretty clean run. There were no do-overs or redos. He didn't have to back up out anything. He was moving consistently through the whole thing, and he still came up a couple seconds short. So you really have to keep moving through all of these courses.
Yeah, some of them are going to feel long, just based off the amount of gates that they have with A and B and C. So that's gate number 2. That's a really nice angle. You see how tight that is.
I was curious to see how the mountain bike would fit on that, and handled it pretty well.
Yeah, it didn't seem to phase him there. So, ooh, didn't quite hold it. So this is gate number 3, which has got an A and B. So he's going to have to go up for a second attempt. Now that's going to eat into his time, making it much harder for him to complete all the gates. And he's got to go for a third time around. So you can see.
Yeah, he's 50 seconds in already. It's going to be tough to make it through a lot of these features at this point. And once he got there, super quick and super efficient.
Yeah, and he knows he's going to have to pick up the pace now. So, come on, Danny. 50 seconds to go. Using a slightly different technique.
Yeah.
Tapping that front wheel, I must say as well, he's like bunny hopping into the front wheel, bringing the back wheel. There's a lot going on in a half a second.
Yeah. So does that, does going to the, keeping it rolling on the larger tires, is that a little bit easier than on the 20-inch bike?
I would say so. You've got a little bit more surface area as well, you know, so you can hit more of the wheel.
Yeah.
And obviously the bigger the wheels, the more likely, so it's easier to roll over things.
Okay.
So we may see some advantages having a 20 or 26, but I think today it's going to be pretty on par. Smashing that hook, nice and easy.
He did get those points, so still picked up 50.
Yeah, that's a good score from Danny.
That is a fantastic score for as much time as he spent on the second obstacle or the second gate getting through there. To still get out of that course with 50 points, that's super impressive.
Yeah, and made up for it. Look, just one move after the other, no messing about. Little back wheel slip there as well as he dropped off. So we might see some recovery and some kind of reactive moves that it might look like nothing, but that just saves the rider from putting their foot down or from going in the wrong direction. So again, the riders here, we'll just see them going through the section, planning their route. The observers do not tell them where to go. They must plan it themselves. Even if an observer knows they've missed it, they can't say anything until they make a mistake, and then they'll tell the rider, you're done. So moving on to section number 3, Sean Farrar for the US of A.
AKA the Quarry.
The Quarry.
We're headed to the
Yes.
Quarry.
We're headed to the Quarry, the Bentonville Bike Fest Quarry.
What's interesting is when I first started mountain bike trials riding 35 years ago, I would practice in a quarry, but the moves did not look like any of the stuff that these riders are practicing today. So Sean Farrar picking up 10 points.
It's a good start for him now. Sometimes that's all you need, just to get your flow, and I think he's finally, or hopefully he's found his flow right now. Huge hook, really. Look at that front tire as well, fully folded.
Yeah, if anybody's wondering how you get a pinch flat, you can see right there the low pressures that they're running. So imagine doing that with some force. It's kind of understandable how that could happen. Nice.
Unfortunately now, so he's out for that move. Basically, he
swung
hooked
over
up.
the ribbon.
Yeah, he hooked up to the back wheel. He was inches away, and then his front wheel just fell to the right-hand side, and he was over the tape there. So very unfortunate. I mean, impressive enough. We can just see here. So back axle almost through, but look, front wheel just goes over too far. Yeah, it's hard to see that, but unfortunately. 10 points for Sean.
He picked up 10 points, and you know, to pick up 10 points in an elite final is pretty impressive.
Yeah. So we'll be moving on to Niilo Stenvall for Finland. He's the Finnish national champion, but doesn't seem to be on form as normal today. Maybe he's going to make up for it in this section, in our quarry. So this one caught Sean out. See how Nilo's probably in the same position. See the tyre just not pinching quite as much. Nilo's known to almost did the same as Sean, but because he went back in a straight
so
line.
Hard, and that rock has a nice good lip where they're hooking on right there, but there's a big downslope that they land on, so it's really hard to get your weight up and over your pedals so you can get over the other side. And that was so technical right there.
Right, the gate, the checkpoint there was right on the edge of that telephone pole. We couldn't quite see it, so there was nowhere else to go.
Nowhere else to go. I was standing on this course earlier. This move that he's about to do, I took a picture and sent to one of my friends because I thought it was funny that this rock right here is over my shoulder and I'm 6'4". So to just put that in perspective, it's a 2-pedal bunny hop up, and that's a 6-foot rock that he just got up and over.
He just rolled up to it, lifting the front wheel.
Sometimes you really just lose the scope of this stuff watching it on TV at home or on your phone, but These moves are absolutely massive.
Yeah. He's flying through Nilo now. I feel like he's found himself. 30 seconds left to go. Big gap to back. And this final gate up onto this huge, I think he's through, huge oil tanker. Do they sell those in Mobil? Is that real?
Did that count? That was really smart.
I think they did. So instead of
Coming down and kickering back up,
they're just discussing it right now. And he's probably gonna plead his case here and say, look, the gate's there, I went through here, but how is the official UCI adjudicator? What he says goes. So he's gonna plead for his case. That's tough as well, because that gate has different flags. So we'll see what the score, but look at this gap from that angle.
That's
like
huge.
Nothing. It's a massive gap. And this is really smart, because use that obstacle. We might see a rider go from the floor. That gate has pretty much been in every final here in Bentonville most years. I think I saw a smile. I think that was 60 points for Nilo. It was. They've just given him that extra 10. So it counts.
That was an impressive and smart riding.
This is
very smart.
It's all how you kind of view the gates. It could be very much just, if you look at it straight, you could be looking, oh, I need to go up. But he's obviously looked at it from a completely different angle. Very clever angle, like you said. There's no wrong or right way. They just need to get the front and back axle through cleanly, tires only.
And that's something that's, you know, whether you're a beginner trials rider or an elite rider, something that really could set you apart is just learning how to break down courses and learn how to ride them. Anybody could look at a course and see the most impossible way to do it, but all these riders seeing what is going to suit their ability level and then applying it to the course, sometimes taking a different approach than the other riders because it suits your abilities.
Yeah.
That's really what makes a good trials rider a great trials rider.
Yeah. So this is like 6 foot up. No, getting into that hook position, so, and he cannot use the rock on the floor. It's hard to see, but there is some white tape there.
Yep.
So they've stopped the rider from being able to use that log. It's got to go from the ground. Let's see his second attempt. Oh, not quite. So this is eating into his time. Sam often has a little bit of a battle with his mind. You know, I want to say that 80% of this is in your mind, 20%'s on the bike.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Trials is difficult in that regard. A lot of other disciplines, you have the ability to get into a flow state. You know, you drop into a downhill course or a slope style run, and once things start happening, you get into that flow state and you're almost feeling like you're unconscious. Trials, you're just thinking the entire time. And if you think of how things could go right, you're doing yourself favors, but it's really easy to start thinking of what can go wrong, and then you're your own worst enemy.
And that's often what we might have just seen here. Perhaps Sam's mind got the better of him. I know he can sometimes, it can knock your flow, right? You make one mistake, look, didn't quite get enough on there, just called it. And I mean, now they're really in the heat. The first 2 sections we've been in the shade.
But like, look at, he's standing next to that telephone pole. It's over his shoulders, and the only thing he has to help him get up that is about a 12-inch cement block on the ground, and then he needs to go to front tire.
Yeah, and then
and
to the
commit
back.
to it, and then go to his back tire and drop to the ground.
Yeah. Yeah, these certainly no commitment issues with these riders.
Right.
They're riding like it's their last day on Earth. So great start from Eloy Palau for Spain. It's a good angle here. You can see he's so really using the front wheel, and you just see where he's gapping to. Huge gap to a telephone pole, staying on the pole.
Staying on the pole.
Oh, he did it. So good from Alloy so far. Yeah, this is a much better ride from Alloy than previously.
Now this is the alloy, you know.
Yeah, this is it. This is the world champion I've seen before. Looking a bit more comfortable. Getting it first try, that's what he needs to do. Because he's the only 20-inch rider with an aluminium bike. The others are on carbon. You know,
And that's on a Comas, right?
it's a Comas aluminium. He's got a carbon fork, but it's an aluminium frame. Again, there's no real advantage here. You know, I would say aluminium, you've got a little bit more give. Oh, it's got to go for a second. Because carbon's really stiff.
Yeah.
So your body's going to take all of that impact. You even had shocks back when you rode, Jeff, so...
We had shocks, downhill pants. Look at that.
Great swap from Alloy. You see the height. The cameraman's going to go underneath. It's just incredible.
I love the no commitment issues there. I feel like he's ready to take out a 29% APR car loan. No commitment issues there.
I think, and if Alloy's girlfriend's watching, I think she's pretty happy too. He's committed. Oh, opting.
There you go.
Completely different approach for Nilo. 60 points, maximum score.
Beautiful
for
ride.
Alloy Palau. Incredible ride there. He's definitely made up for some of the mistakes he had earlier. This is a great shot here. Look, bouncing, body weight forward, front wheel, couple of hops, back wheel, all happening so fast. And just look at the height.
On this section.
I absolutely love the cameraman going underneath.
Yeah, that was a great shot.
So good ride. This is the first Spanish rider in the final. Now we'll have Alejandro Montalvo representing that rainbow jersey. As you can see, he's the current world champion from 2025 in Riyadh. I was there in Riyadh with the riders too, and it was even hotter than here.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that possible?
Yeah, it's basically in the desert in Saudi Arabia, which was insane. But they had these crazy, like, weird fans around, and you know they were trying to cool the riders down, but not here. So let's see how Alejandro does. Look, to the rim.
Gate one, super smooth.
Gate super narrow. Is he going to gap and stay on the log? Ooh, that was nearly a slip of the back wheel. So chilled right now, only 30 seconds gone. And that's 20 points. So now this will be for 30 points because that was 3A-B, this is 3C. Great angle, great swap. So 30 points for Alejandro. How's he going to approach this? The same technique as Eloy, or is he going to hit the front wheel? Let's see. He knows he's got time. Look, he's breathing. He's taking a chill pill right now.
Yeah, he has close to a minute for 2 more gates.
So nice. So similar again onto 5A. That's 5A. He's got a gap through to this big one here to get the points. Boom. Another 10 points, 50 points. Now the last gate on the Mobil 1 oil tanker. How's he going to do it? Full run up. Slightly different again, but...
Slightly different, no stop. Nice and smooth.
Yeah, he's happy there. That'll be at 60 points for Alejandro. You can see this. See that to the hook there too.
170 total points for Alejandro.
Danny Segara now. He qualified first, and he's our youngest competitor today. So props to Danny, coming out first time in America, first time competing out here, and he really performed yesterday. But you know what? that's just the qualifier. He's got to perform right now. Let's see how Danny does.
He's going to need a clean run and all 60 points to stay in a third position and tie.
So he didn't quite hold it on the back wheel, so I wonder what he's going to do. Is he going to take... He needs to do that exact move
I think
again.
that's your best bet. If you're going to get up that next gate, your best bet is going to be to stay up high.
He needs to gap to that telephone pole. So holding it, gapping to it. Yes! They're lucky to have that, just that little bit of rock there for a correction hop too. Nice, so that'll be 3A, 3B. Now, this next gate he's approaching up to, yeah, this is 3C. This will be for 30 points. You can just see the height. The observer, look, it's taller than him. It's insane. And they just get up it like they have a ramp that's directly from the floor, right?
And that's a vertical face. I know it looks like it could be a little deceiving. That is a completely vertical face and 6 feet. I'm really interested to see how this goes on the mountain bike.
I think he's going to hit the front wheel and not hold it. Let's see. No, swaps really well. I was proved wrong. He went to pin the front wheel to swap to back wheel.
136.
20 seconds left. So he's going to really have to keep moving.
Okay, he needs to press on now, Danny. Press on, get in the gap. So that's 50.
All right, he's looking pretty good.
So he could. So he's got 10 seconds to get this last 6th and final gate. Just almost hitting the cameraman.
And he got it.
Very nice from Danny. Danny Segarra there for section number 3 on the 26-inch Comas aluminium bike. Look, yeah, tapping that front wheel.
Getting really up close and personal with the cameraman.
Yeah. So earlier on last night, this is Eloy Palau last night on the hill climb. Jeff, you were there.
Yeah, so this was the Bosch Hill Climb Challenge that they put together yesterday. It was organized by Bosch and Hans Ray, trials legend, and it was super challenging. It was awesome. It allowed amateurs and pros to all get out on the course together, but this was the winning run, and this was right at the end. So you make it to the top of this, and you completed the course. There weren't too many people that were able to do that last night, but it was a fun competition.
Yeah, and they was just out there for fun, and the top 2 riders are actually trials riders.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you about the technical side of that mountain biking?
It was awesome. So the trials riders were the 2 fastest one, but we also saw Ryan Howard, freeride legend, Kyle Strait, freeride legend, make it through the course. Nat Ross, like an ultra endurance mountain biker, he was out there competing. Hans Ray himself, he made it through the course, which was super impressive. It was just awesome because it brought so many different riders together, and they all approached it differently. They all rode different bikes, and it was a really fun vibe last night.
I wonder if it's the kind of format we might see every discipline come together, right? The BMXers, the dirt jumpers, the trials riders, that's kind of, I feel that's where we could really bring all of the cyclists together. So Sean Farrar now in section number 4, kicking us off. Now he's going ahead for that concrete like donut. That's a pretty big donut.
That's a really huge donut.
And he's got to get up and over that to get the next set of 10 points. Come on, Sean.
And now this one is about 6 feet as tall, but unlike some of the other obstacles, what makes this one so challenging is it's really narrow and it's round. So these riders, 6 feet tall with a square edge and a vertical face, no problem. They could do that hook move. This one, it requires you to hit it with a little bit more speed, and there's nothing to hook your front tire on. So it actually makes it feel artificially even higher.
Yeah, and as soon as you get your front wheel past the kind of centered point, it becomes that little bit more easier because you've got your body weight forward. I think hopefully now you just get this on the 3rd one. Come on, Sean, we're rooting for you now just to get 20 on this one. And with that run up, it can be very sluggish.
Again, out of that mulch, it really just shows the power being generated by these riders. if you pay attention, they're getting in pedal strokes right up as they're bunny hopping.
Yeah, as he's lifting the front wheel and he's still pedaling.
They're still under power, and that's the difference maker that gets you up there. And with these bikes and the geometry, that's kind of mandatory nowadays, is you have to keep pedaling because you're so laid out across that bike coming into the obstacles. You can't do like a proper bunny hop, a rolling bunny hop like you might do on a mountain bike or a BMX bike, because those bikes are quite a bit shorter. These you need to kind of pedal through the whole time and get that rear wheel underneath you so that you can get that upward force.
Just not quite enough for Sean there to get that 20 points. He's got another section to go, but props for him making it into the finals with these European riders. So fantastic effort from Sean. Now on to Nilo Stenval on the 20-inch carbon trials bike.
The crowd is really filling in it here at the Bentonville Bike Festival. It's so awesome to see such a mixed crowd out there. You get riders of all ages, different styles. They all are out here enjoying the day, enjoying the event. So, you know, we have this world-class trials competition going on, but earlier this morning they had a gravel race. There's the Red Bull Double Down tomorrow. There's just so many different styles going on, and
what a
he made that up as I was talking.
I was just looking there. I actually wasn't sure where he was going, and then realized, wow, he just fully sent that. This is going to be scary for a couple of our riders. I know Samuel's pretty scared of heights. Nilo didn't seem fazed by that at all.
No, not at all.
And this also, moving back for this huge cylinder, bouncing to front wheel, swapping to back. Now, I know this one's really tough. This was not in the qualifiers here. So there's a couple of
repurposed kickers from last year's jump contest.
Yeah, it looks pretty. Using the couple of wow,
that was impressive.
that balance on that tiny, like, stepping legs. I don't know what those sort of wooden steps. That was so impressive. And then here too, that takeoff is really, really tough, but full commitment. Oh, not quite. Needs to. He went over the white tape. Oh, gutted for Nilo there. 40 points there so far, I think. Very good ride. I mean, if there was anything he was going to win today, it was definitely the wet t-shirt competition.
Yeah. That just goes to show how hot and humid it is out there today. He's dripping sweat.
Yeah.
But this was super impressive. That's a massive jump ramp, 8 feet tall.
Huge gap.
And they're literally climbing it using the side of a 2x4.
Yes.
Again, all these things, it's really hard to tell the nuance when they're in wood chips, explain to the audience at home, or rock faces. Everybody at some point has probably stepped on the edge of a 2x4 and you felt how it hurts your foot. Imagine trying to jump, imagine being 5 feet in the air trying to jump another 4 off the edge of that 2x4.
Yeah.
It just shows the level of precision that these riders are operating under.
And 2x4, that's thinner than his tire.
Correct.
So,
yeah.
I mean,
they have a 3-inch wide tire and a 2-inch wide 2x4.
So Sam rolling up for the side op. So nice. Just look how flowing through he is the only rider with riding the combo carbon. So that bar and stem is just one piece.
Yeah. And Sam is so smooth when on some of these big moves. It's just amazing.
Not quite the first time. He's getting fatigue will be setting in now too, so he's going to make it harder and harder as we go along, so he just needs to push that little bit more. Yeah, not quite getting the front over. We saw Sean struggle here, but with a 20-inch bike, there's you've got 4 inches less of that height, so you've got to push a little bit more. Yeah, this is tight. This is going to make it difficult to get out the end when you're trying to. If you're not getting gates first time, it makes it really tough.
Yeah, and just having a little bit of extra momentum here, so I don't know if it's the runway tripping them up a little bit or just, being a little bit short of power because of the, the heat. and starting to feel a little bit drained, you have to be able to put down maximum watts here. You're trying to get up onto a giant round pipe that's 6 feet tall, human powered from 3 pedal strokes away.
And his tire's actually slipping. This dust, the dust on the ground here, or a little bit of, it's probably affecting the grip on that tire. His foot slipped off the pedal. So unfortunate there for Sam. 10 points, that'll do. But I think Sam doesn't look too pleased with that result.
He looks pretty disappointed. It was an amazing shot. That first side hop, he makes it look so effortless.
It's massive, and just
you can see that's his move right there. He does those as good or better than any of these riders. The power up move, it was just a little short on wattage, and just ever so slightly short. And there's not a lot of traction on that painted pipe either. So if you don't carry the momentum into it, you're not going to get up there.
Yeah. Eloy Palau, our first Spanish rider for section number 4. 60 points up for grabs. We can see the current scoring in the top left there as well. So let's see how Eloy shapes up in this one. Again, first gate. Wonderful side up, really well controlled. Haven't seen a rider quite get through here just yet. Yeah.
He just made it look so,
I know.
so easy.
And then this gap is huge into the front wheel. This gap also huge, incredibly high up.
Wow.
Just, again, making it look easy when it's far from.
Only 40 seconds in as well. Like, he's really moving through this course.
I think now he might be taking that breather. He knows he's got some extra time because of how quick the first few gates were. Wow. You see how forward his head was.
So committed, yeah.
As we say, yeah, no commitment issues for Eloy there. These are the 2x4s we were talking about earlier. This is what I couldn't explain, is how, like, and the gap across, even going into a little down to 2 wheels.
Oh, different approach here.
Yep. Actually, he's from the floor rather than the actual ramp itself. He's making that look very relaxed as well. Just rolling up through it.
Nice.
Nice. It's through, so it should be a 50. Yep.
7 seconds ago, so
He's got the last gate. Is he
not
going to get
make
it?
out
I
of
don't
this
know.
last one, but
Still going for it.
so close.
Real tough, but great ride from Eloy. Didn't quite get 60 there, so again, he should be happy with 50 points.
50 points was a solid ride on that course.
Yeah. 2 riders left to go in section 4. You could see the bike was lower than the obstacle, and he's pulling it up.
I wonder why I went to front wheel on that instead of a hook. I guess just confidence in that move.
Yeah,
huh?
every rider is going to have what they feel best at, what they feel more confident at. And some of those moves to us don't make sense.
Yeah.
But if he's in his backyard, like training that constantly, he's going to say, well, that's what I'm good at. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, no extra points for different approaches. As we say, it's black and white. You're through the gate or you're not. Alejandro Montalvo now. Let's see how he does. We've had no 60 points yet in this section. Will we get a maximum score in section 4?
Making that look easy.
Huge gap as well, landing perfectly. Even holding it on.
Showing off.
Yeah, just holding it on the front wheel. Nice little roll down, and this guy is...
All right, if he can make it up onto this pipe, he'll be tied again points-wise for first place, and then anything else will help build that lead. This move is massive.
Yes, really close to the top 3, as we can see. Only 10 points. Not getting it first time either. This is huge. And through the mulch.
There you go.
Yeah, it might be
I
huge.
wonder if that second attempt's going to cost him, though, now, by trying to get a 60-point score on this course.
Yeah.
Because we've seen the other riders move through pretty efficiently and still not have enough time. So let's see, we got 30 seconds left.
So which side is he going to come from? So looks like similar.
Same thing.
Yeah, similar approach to Eloy. I think he's just going to probably try and roll that front wheel up and then pull the back through, making that look very, very easy. But so he's picking up the pace. He knows he's got 6 seconds. He's going to want to get that 64. I don't think it's going to happen. And that'll be time for Alejandro. Wow.
First rider we've seen make it to the pipe just ran out of time, though. So
yeah,
we know it's possible.
Yeah, they really have to be essentially make 0 mistakes in this section to even finish. So will Danny be able to do it? You can see that rolling through. So much mobility required for this sport, you know. These guys definitely do yoga, that's for sure. Danny Segarra now, also the Spanish rider, riding the 26-inch trials bike. You can see current scoring in the top left there, so that put Alejandro Montalvo ahead, but Danny's still got to go. Segarra's on 140, so to catch up, he needs to get 60 right now. He needs to clean this.
Yeah, that's perfect. I don't think you want to do it.
Okay.
He looks pretty locked in and focused right now.
Yeah. There we go, no mistakes. Gapping across, flick to 90 degrees, front wheel. Like dropping off that is scary enough, right? But then you've got to go to another pipe. And
on an angle. Did he just do like a little tabletop?
He did, a lovely little tweak in the air. That is something that Danny often does, and I love to see it, you know, because it's unnecessary, but it really adds a bit of flair for us at home. Straight,
wow, straight up to back tire.
Straight to back wheel. I don't know if they could have done that on the 20s, but see, Danny showing he's today's top 26-inch rider at least.
I can't believe these riders would rather drop to the ground than ride down a perfectly good ramp.
Right? You would rather roll down it, right?
So
Jeff?
he's 45 seconds. The other riders had about 25 at this point, so he is moving pretty quick, but he's going to have to keep it moving if he wants to get out of here, because he's only got 35 seconds to go. All right, that was great.
It's 30 seconds. He could do this. He hasn't stopped to breathe. I hope he's not holding his breath. So Danny now.
All right, 20 seconds. Oh.
I think he's called it there. He's happy with 50. I mean, that'll put him in 3rd position, or actually there's 190, so Eloy Palau and Segarra both on 190, so there's a bit of a battle for 3rd.
It's all going to come down to this last course. And I mean, mathematically, it's anybody's ball game still.
Yeah. Yeah,
a good ride or a bad ride from one of the riders, and you could shuffle that around quite a bit. I love that little kick out tabletop.
He's Danny's known for a little bit of flair, I must say. Loves to put on a show. So one final section left. Someone could make a mistake.
On that side of the mat.
You know, someone's bike could break. It's still all to play for. This is live. This is unscripted. Anything can happen.
Yep, and if section 3 was the quarry, this one is Lincoln Logs.
Lincoln
You ever
Logs.
play with Lincoln Logs as a kid?
Yes.
Tiddlywinks.
Tiddlywinks.
There we go. This is just all kinds of telephone poles.
Not quite getting his front weight over the front wheel there. Needs to push a little bit more. But I'd say this is the 5th and final section. This one can always be the toughest. And in the heat, these riders must be exhausted. Go on, Sean. And he's through. Beautifully done. Getting through, got through gate number 1.
All right, he's already at 45 seconds in, so he's going to need to start moving. So right there, you can see how the course designers just dropped that log just a little bit to give them the ability to hook on that.
Yeah.
But it's still really tall and really skinny. Fans are loving it.
Yeah, it is amazing to see the US up here competing with these European riders. These, him and his brother, probably the best comp trials riders in America right now. So I had to take a second attempt at the run-up, didn't quite get the pedals right. Everything has to be perfect. I think he hit his front wheel there on the way up, just to show how high it is. And Sean's a tall guy too. But there it is, Sean Farrar's ride of 2026.
Crowd letting them know that they love it today. All right, only 5 riders to go. Let's see how this shakes out.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. Great move there from Sean in that. Just showing that he can compete with these guys. And showing that the level here in the States is catching up.
Yeah. And now something interesting we talked about it a lot watching the ladies, and even when the men started, that advantage of going first. That's huge early on, but right now that's a huge albatross around your neck. Knowing that you're gonna go last and you get to see what everybody does, especially if they put in a great ride and get 40, 50, 60 points, and then you know you need to keep going, it really puts a ton of pressure on you.
Yeah.
So not only are you trying to ride these insanely technical courses, but then you have that weighing in the back of your mind because you've seen the other riders. So what's an advantage early on, getting that last look? Now you kind of wish you could just get it over with and put the pressure on the other rider.
So first attempt, he went for the rolling. There's a couple of names that are bam bam or front wheel tap. Didn't quite get it, so he went for the static move there. But he knows he needs to stay on the rock and go to the yellow flag just to the left-hand side of the screens there. Big gap to back wheel, there we go. Made it though. This is huge. Off that, and then he needs to get onto those, they're like railway sleepers, you call them here still, yep. Got to get up to there too, but not a problem for Nilo. So now getting up to this huge block on the right-hand side. The takeoff as well. Absolutely no problem. We're just here. Still kind of speechless, but 30 seconds left to go. This is a good run from Nilo. Now this gate just ahead of him, there's white tape either side of the logs there. You can just see how thin the gate's going to be. He's through.
He made it.
Nice.
That was awesome.
Yeah, just. There he is. I think that was gate number 6. He's through. That's a maximum score there for Nilo Stenval. That's all he can do. So Stenval finishing on 260. Finishing on 260. which guarantees him a podium position. I'm saying that because my maths is terrible. I will check that scores in a second, but look at this move. Tapping that front wheel, just getting the axle through.
That was
touching
amazing.
The flag. Really, really great ride from Nilo.
So by putting those tapes on the uprights, it's basically a one-shot deal.
Yeah.
You're either making it or you're out. You can't get one of those correction hops and take another go at it.
Samuel Laverty now, so not quite there. He can't put himself on the podium, but he's still going to give it his best shot. We know he will. A proud Slovakian rider. One of the smoothest riders we've had here this weekend. So 10 points so far. He's put him into the triple digits, but even if he gets 60 now, he's not quite. So he just wants to prove to him and himself. Ooh.
He's got a 5.
He got 5, didn't quite get through the gate correctly, but Samuel Laverty there, incredible rider. I think he's just happy to be here. He always is. This move here as well. Up to back wheel, a little bit of a back wheel.
Little manual while he's up there. Yep.
I mean, that's scary, man, too, to be doing that. So we're still got the battle here for the top 3.
So even with a clean run, the highest Eli could finish would be second.
He's going to want to get a full 60 points here to put him on 250. 250 will at least get him second.
He does that, it's going to put some major pressure.
Yeah.
On the last 2 riders,
and,
some major pressure.
Would you want to be told if you needed to get 60 to go through, or would you just want to ride? You know.
Well, that's what I was saying about, like, you know, early on in the competition, having other riders go in front of you can be an advantage. You get to look at how they did. You can see what worked, what didn't. But now, watching these riders, especially when you're last to go, knowing that the only thing you could do is snatch defeat from the mouth of victory because somebody has accumulated more points, it really adds to that mental element.
So I just saw him take a dab. He had a penalty. We can see 2.
Oh, yeah.
Mike's holding those fingers up there. He must have hit his bike twice. So he cannot get 60 now. He can only score 50 points maximum. Taking more of a run-up approach other than Nilo's static approach. Bounce, front wheel. Oh, he's gonna have to go again. Not quite holding it.
That's a compromising position to be in. Not quite getting your tire up there when you're 6, 7, 8 feet high.
Impressive enough to drop off that, stay on the bike, and then go again. That front, his body movement, I mean...
He's got that dialed.
You can probably see he's actually got padding on his stem. There's like a little pad there.
Yep.
And that's probably because he's hitting his chest. That's how much he is committing to the front wheel.
Yep.
All right, well, no room for error. No room for error in this game.
20 seconds to go, so running out of time, it's going to be tough. We could probably get these points right here, but the next one, there's not going to be time. A little bit
Doesn't
short.
get it. He knows. So just to explain the guys at home, his front wheel went through that lovely little checkpoint there, but because his back wheel didn't and he fell to the side, he automatically gets a 5, or he's disqualified from that section. So only 30 points. Eloy's I think it was on 220. Let's see this move. Look at that. The body positioning.
And then here, all rear wheel. His front tire never even touches, even that one.
Just, yeah. And so fast. You blink and you miss some of these moves that these guys do. I mean, 2 minutes. It's not a lot of time.
It goes by really quick when you need to make it through so many obstacles. And you can see they're moving the entire time, and sometimes it's still not enough. They're long courses, and that's intentional. You know, you give these riders 5-10 more seconds to solve the problem, and they'll do it every time. So, you know, you can make things bigger. You could also make things a little bit longer, and, you know, make you, you know, try rush into things a little bit more, or not be able to set up quite as much. If these guys are practicing, these moves, you know, are all within reach. But when you get that time limit and you have to do a bunch of them consecutively, that's what really sets it apart.
Wow, opted for a completely...
You gotta be kidding.
So I can tell you what just happened there. He got to the back wheel, obviously didn't pin the front enough, and instead of jumping back, landed in the hook. That was cool.
That was really cool.
Definitely not something we see every day in trials. And the pace he's got going through this as well.
That was probably one of the coolest saves I've ever seen in my life.
What a save. Not something we expected to see today. So props to Alejandro for the reaction time. Here we go. The current world champion. Absolutely so chilled. Absolutely chilled right now. I mean...
All right, 10 more points away from a first place tie, but he could potentially get as high as 280.
And a minute through, 30 points through, this is pretty good. Now that, you might not he just hooked that, this really thin, he made that harder for himself.
Yeah.
I don't know why he made it harder for himself. Maybe he's proving something to him.
Ooh, a different approach.
A completely different approach now. So that was
just avoided
tight.
the whole. I mean, I guess that was pretty smart, because the other one, had he messed that up, he did have 25 seconds on the clock. He could have gotten another crack at it, whereas the other one is a kind of do or die scenario. But looks like he wasn't trying to take any prisoners today, because that was a perfect 60-point run.
Absolutely not.
And at least guaranteeing a tie for first.
Yes, so we can see now Alejandro will be today's winner. The next rider, Danny Garcia, can't catch up. This move here is just super relaxed. Perfectly placed in the front wheel, the back wheel follows, just plants it, just holding it there. One rider left to go in our final section. And just putting in perspective some of these obstacles, and props to the guys that put this all together and set it up, because they've done a fantastic job. So if Segarra gets... this is for third position. So he needs to get 60, well, if he gets 60, he'll be at 250, that will secure him third place, but he cannot get first or second now just by what's actually available. Gapping to the hook there as well. Let's see how the 26-inch rider does. Got to hold it, gap. Oh, good save. I thought he was going to drop the front wheel.
That was amazing control. Instead of a hop, he just fell into that pivot, kept his composure, and made that gap.
Ooh, taking a dab. So can't get the 60, can only get 50 points. Will it be enough to get him on today's podium? So just that takeoff, super tricky. The rounded logs. Holding it on the back wheel. Oh, I thought he was going to gap, but no, he's dropped down to go back up. Ooh, almost just staying inside the section. See, Danny also looks like he saw Alejandro do it.
Yeah.
He's doing the same thing.
So made it look like a piece of cake.
Yeah, right? Just, you know, flowing that front wheel through, allowing the momentum to take him through the gate. Back wheel there, he's just got to get up and over.
So this move is for third place right here.
It's there, so
he's done it.
I think he's got it. It's at 40. I think he's got it. That will put Danny Segara now into 3rd position. His first time competing here, and he's on the podium, the youngest rider as well.
That was amazing riding today. Absolutely amazing.
On a little stylish 360 out. Oh, 180. Sorry, that was a 180. What a fantastic ride from these guys. Look at that. And I guarantee these guys will be exhausted. I know they'll be letting loose tonight at tonight's party. The Spanish know how to have fun, I'll give you that. And they certainly came out and performed today. 2 Spanish riders making the podium. Finland sandwiched by the Spanish there. Nilo Stenval, also a really young rider, just a little bit older than Danny Segara. And here they are, Eloy just giving them all that camaraderie, handshakes. We're all a really good community here in trials. We might be competing, but we're all one big family, and there are your final results. Only 20 points per.
Yeah.
Per.
That was a tight. That was a tight competition.
Yeah, and sometimes when you see them really excel and get really far ahead, but very up until the last moment. You can see that Alejandro Montalvo, the current world champion, keeping it on top and winning today.
You can see how he earned that jersey today. Just the composure, the speed that he went through all the courses, just unbelievable. The amount of confidence they rode with, so awesome to see.
Yeah, it was really, really good. I'm really pleased to see the youngsters coming through. I say Nilo and Danny. The other 3 finalists are much older than those 2, so it's the next generation in the sport, man. Like, these guys weren't even born when you were riding, Jack.
I don't think any of them were. Not even the older guys in this this group were.
Some of them started in like, oh my gosh, I'm thinking, I mean, listen, I started 2007.
Yep.
And you had just finished your career in the comps, right?
Yeah, I stopped competing in mountain bike trials in 2000 and then transitioned to just filming freeride videos. So I was more about bar spins and tail whips and stuff than trials at that point.
Yeah, just incredible. And you can obviously go and find these riders online on Instagram, or head to, if you type in Shindig Media as well, you guys, we've got some interviews, we've done podcasts with many of these riders. We actually did a podcast with you, Jeff, a few years ago, which we need to rekindle and do a fresh one. You can find out a lot more about the riders. You can follow along some of our other competitions, so just go on there and give Shindig Media a follow. Make sure you head to the Bentonville Bike Fest Instagram and go and follow there too. And there'll be the Red Bull Double Down tomorrow as well.
Yep, so, I mean, the day's still young at the Bentonville Bike Festival. There's all kinds of events going on the rest of the day. There's qualifying for the Red Bull Double Down. There's downtown Bentonville after the event. There's so much stuff going on.
How beautiful. What an amazing town. Like, they're so welcoming. This is probably one of the most important events in the biking calendar now. It's only 5-6 years old, right?
6 years old, and I think that's what makes it so special, is the way the community opens their arms and wraps it around this event. It's awesome to ride with your friends, but then there's stuff to do when you're in town. So it's really a festival where you can go and have world-class competitions, but then so much other stuff to do. Whether you're a cyclist or not, you could participate in the events, check things out, grab a great cup of coffee, a great meal, and just have a good time in Bentonville.
I've met some of my current best friends here at this festival now, and this event itself has now become a huge flagship in our trials calendar, not just mountain biking, and the families that come here. Like you said, it is for everybody. This isn't just for professionals. You could be an amateur, you could just want to come and hang out. You don't even need to be a rider, right? Just come and watch.
No, there's so much stuff going on that it's just a spectacle.
Those two, so that's Wesley Belay and Andy. They actually built the park. Let's, I think we've got Jason there, who's just doing an interview with Vera Baron.
Was not able, so yeah, I'm really happy. And I hear you love Justin Bieber. So what do you love about Justin Bieber so much? And were you singing songs inside of your head? Justin Bieber, what's going on?
Everything around is Justin Bieber.
It's all about Justin Bieber here at Bentonville Bike Fest. Anything else you want to tell anybody?
Guys, come enjoy next year Bentonville Bike Fest. You will love it. There's really good people and you can see a lot of sports. So hope to see you next year.
Awesome job out there, Vera.
Nice. Well said, Vera. Again, just that happy, infectious smile. A previous female world champion winning at today's Bentonville Bike Fest 2026 here in Arkansas. Wow, what an incredible final. What an incredible final. And the trials might be over, but there's still so much going on here. This is day 2. We've got another whole day.
And the current world champion and the winner here at Bentonville Bike Fest 2026, brought to you by Mobil 1, Alejandro Montalvo. What do you have to say? What do you think about the courses, the heat, anything else?
Yeah, I'm very happy to take the win here. Finally, it took me a few times some tries to get it. I'm very happy. The track was very nice. The session was very good. I enjoyed it a lot. It was very warm for us, but yeah, I think it's something more to be happy, to take the win here. So yeah, I want to thank the organization, Kenya, and the Bentonville Bike Fest for such a great event.
And what are you going to do after this? What are you going to do tonight? What are you going to do?
Well, we would like to enjoy a little more the festival. Before we were focused on the session, on the competition, and now we can be a bit more relaxed and enjoy all the things that are happening, because yeah, the event is awesome.
How many times have you been coming to Bentonville Bike Fest? How many times have you been here?
This is my 5th time.
5 times. Do you like it here in Bentonville?
Yeah, every time it's getting better. Yeah, it's awesome. For me, honestly, one of the best events of the year. So always when it's come the date, I can't wait, to be honest.
So the winner here today and our current world champion, Alejandro Montalvo, 2026 Bentonville Bike Fest, brought to you by Mobil 1.
Wow, yeah. You see there, what an amazing time. Jeff, I feel blessed to have been able to sat with you here today to hang out and do like full circle. I used to watch you years when I was a kid, and now we're sat here. What an epic event.
It was an amazing day watching all these competitors. The event is just getting started. We're only halfway through, so there's stuff for the rest of the weekend. It's going to be a great time. I'd encourage anybody listening or watching on TV, streaming somewhere around the world, try to make it out to the Bentonville Bike Festival. You won't be disappointed.
Yeah, you have to come. And if you couldn't come this year, you've got to come next year. I'll be coming back, Jeff. I know you'll be, right?
I'll be back.
Yeah, so don't forget to go and check that out online. We're going to go to some of the highlights here. Thanks very much, Jeff. Thank you all for watching. I've been Matt Pengelly, and thank you, Jeff Lanoski. We'll see you all next time.
Cheers.